By any measure, 2020 has been the year DeFi came of age, but alongside it has been this incredible surge in the popularity of digital art, NFTs. Now, you may not think the two have much to do with each other, but when we talk about collateral in regards to lending, then suddenly these digital items suddenly become a lot more interesting. And they become especially interesting when they're being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it was lucky number 7 for digital artist Beeple when his latest auction, Beeple Collect, saw the final piece in his sale, the complete MF, sell for $777,777.77.
Savage.
Which is exactly how Nifty Gateway described the winner of the auction. Huge numbers, but when you consider Beeple himself had been building his reputation and his body of work by creating a new piece of work every single day for 13 years. That unlucky number, lucky 7, 13, well then maybe it makes more sense. So who is Beeple exactly? Well, he is Mike Winkelmann.
I live in Wisconsin, so there aren't a lot of opportunities for jobs like this.
Video DJ, motion graphics whiz, and all-round legend of 3D design, animation, and stuff. And I first came across him 10 years ago when I was looking for resources to learn 3D animation. So to see him here in this space is kind of one of the clearest indications that we're about to see probably a giant surge in digital artists like Beeple entering crypto and probably making a ton of money. Because you see, the thing about poor artists like me or like Beeple is that they tend to be poor, like proper broke ass. And if you're wondering why I'm swearing so much, that's because that Beeple is one of the sweariest you're gonna see in the entire world. And that's probably why that is called Beeple, because he can't say without swearing. And he's the sweariest you've ever heard. Let's just take a look at the blurb in his collection to see what I mean. This, for instance. How in the are you gonna sum up 2020 with words? No, it has to be pictures, and those pictures have to be weird. Weird, wink smiley. The Drop, niftygateway.com, Friday, 7 p.m. Ha ha! Okay, so we're going balls deep on this 21 single edition auction throughout the weekend, 3 open editions for 5 minutes, and a $1 edition of 100. If we look further down, single edition, brackets, black label, ooh, black label, maximum bonus guaranteed aubergine emoji. Please use some form of birth control when viewing these, as they have the ability to impregnate both women and men. And you know, maybe that's why the is called Beeple, because the can't do without being sweary and provocative, because that's what it takes to get through to you. And you know what? If my name was Winkelmann, I'd probably be angry about it too. After all, there's nothing wrong with being called Schmidt, is there? Oh, phone call. Hello, yes, Camila. Oh, crap. Really? Yeah, right, sorry, okay. How many ETH per word? Okay, yeah, I'll try not to. Okay. Yeah, but, okay, all right, bye. Anyway, sweary, prolific, heavily coiffed, power nerd. This is the Beeple brand. And goddamn, wouldn't you know, his synthwave sci-fi body horror collection struck a nerve with crypto heads who in no way are predominantly male, gamer, degenerate ass monkeys. And they just lapped it up. And honestly, Beeple can probably be considered our first genuine rock star NFT artist. But is he? Is he? Oh, that's kind of funny because he's come to this super late, but like, whatever. Welcome, brother.
You're welcome.
So look, there's tons to say about this, and I see absolutely no sign of this craziness. Let's take a moment there. Is it really crazy, or is it just the way it is? Is it the new normal? I don't know. But there's no sign of it slowing down, so it is deserving of the time, and to that end, this was the perfect excuse to bring probably the most influential crypto artist of the year in to the Defiant for a chat. I am, of course, talking about Trevor Jones. The man is a gentleman, a thinker, an entrepreneur, and far feistier and opinionated than you would ever imagine from his online persona. And this was a really fun conversation. You've had, let's be honest, quite a good year. It's not been bad, has it? Can you take me through some of the highlights for you from this year? What's happened?
God, it's been crazy. I mean, it's been nonstop. I got into this space and kind of the crypto art space in 2018. Kind of early 2018, I started working towards an exhibition which was shown at a commercial gallery here at the end of November 2018. Then the next year, getting into NFTs, 2019, end of 2019, and then 2020, it's just been like every single month something crazy happens.
There's so much of crypto that's about, oh, I'm going to buy this thing and then I'm going to sit and do nothing. Whereas I think the people who really thrive are the ones who are active, who are committed to doing certain things, but don't stand still. I think what's defined you this year, you had one success, you instantly thinking, what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next? You had the hunger of an 18-year-old in the body of a Greek god, shall we say. But that's been the thing. It's like the collaborations, the not standing still, the not going, well, I sold that piece, I'll sell another one. It's like, no, I sold that one, but now I have to push the bar on and go further and further. Is that something you've been feeling this year, that you constantly want to climb higher and be ahead?
You know, I'm not going to lie. I think absolutely. And there's again, you know, a number of reasons for that. I think in part, I am competitive, you know, and it's a naughty word for an artist to say that, I think. But I've always been competitive. You know, I played a lot of, you know, sports when I was younger. And so it's just been part of my nature. So that competition does drive me. I also love seeing other people successful too. I love seeing, you know, these amazing artists. And that I love it because I think that drives me more so. But also again, because of the age thing, you know, I don't know how much, you know, where this is going. I don't know where this space is going. I would like to think that it's going to keep on driving and building and building and building, but, you know, we can talk about bubbles. Will it crash at some point? Will it reinvent itself? You know, who knows? But for me right now, I think I see every year as a project, and it's just doing, you know, this year's been a whole lot of little projects, but has been phenomenally impressive for me. And so that kind of gives me an opportunity to build and build and build on each thing. And then, you know, look back, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I improve? How can I get better? Not just with the art, you know, my skills, my techniques, but the whole kind of marketing, the networking, the social media.
Where do you see the value in the NFTs that you've created continuing to rise? How does that relationship continue to grow between you and the person who's bought it, the person who owns it, the person who collects your work?
I like to speculate, you know, especially immediately after especially these huge buys. I'm thinking, you know, why, what motivates them to spend so much money on, you know, even like a digital piece? So, you know, they might not be getting my physical painting, but they're actually just getting a digital piece. What is it that drives them to buy this? And after conversations, because I'm interested, I actually asked them, you know, what is it? And whether they're telling me the truth or not, you know, or they're, you know, who knows entirely, but it changes for all of them. You know, I think there's some it's investment purposes. You know, some it's just the aesthetics. They just love it. They love the space, the excitement, being a part of this new culture, this new kind of driving society of crypto, and being there at the beginning, and whether it's just collecting things along the way as mementos or as investments, being part of the whole community, the ecosystem, and lifting up the arts, because the arts are really kind of starting to gather a lot of momentum. Some, you know, they're speculating on the metaverse and e-commerce, and so all these different things. And I think it seems like every big buyer that I've spoken to, and there's probably a good 6, 7, 8 big whales, and they all are coming at from slightly different angles. It's not all about investment and making a bunch of money. It's not all about just supporting the arts and the artists, but there's, you know, everything in between. And that's, I think, and that's necessary, because if it's all about one thing, then it's likely going to fail. You need all different types of people, all different types of artists, all different types of collectors, all different types of marketplaces to continue to grow this to sustain in a sustainable way.
Yeah, well, that's about diversity.
We have to come back now to Beeple and his holy moly, what the was that sale? Hot take. What did you make of it?
I didn't know Beeple at all. I admit it. I'm embarrassed to say it. I'm old and I'm a painter. So he actually contacted me about, I think, 2 weeks before his initial drop on Nifty Gateway. He emailed me, Mike, I forget his last name.
Winkleman. It's not a name you can take seriously. For those who don't know, Winkle in the British Isles is another name for a man's penis. So, a Winkle man, yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry, people. But yeah, so he contacted me. It was shortly after my Picasso Bull drop, and he said, "I'm interested in. I'm doing a drop on Nifty. I'm interested in talking to you about your work, and I'm looking at appropriating some of your ideas for mine." And at that point, I was just completely overwhelmed. It was a chaotic moment in my life, and I was all over the place. I kind of said, "No, sorry, I'm really busy. Wish you all the best, and brilliant. Looking forward to seeing what you do." And then actually, I found out later on who he was, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" I just like completely turned down this rock star guy with 2.2 million followers. So I had a laugh. I contacted him and said, like, "Sorry about that," and we started chatting. Man, he swears a lot. Impressive swearing, that Beeple. I remember having conversations with some of the artists in this space way back in the olden days, like in April of 2020, 8, 9, 10 months ago, and I was claiming that this is what's going to happen. There's the floodgates are going to open up. Big name artists, digital artists or physical artists will be coming in. The Christie's, the Sotheby's, the international commercial galleries is going to completely wash over everything that is currently being built right now. And you're going to have to prepare for it. And the number of artists that I pissed off because of those conversations was incredible. I'm thinking, like, this is inevitable. This is going to happen. And so when Beeple did come and did exactly what I knew it was going to happen, I wasn't shocked at all. I mean, I was, okay, 2 million, 3.5 million for the drop. It's pretty impressive. But I knew it was going to happen eventually. And so, yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It was phenomenal. It was mind-blowing, crypto art shattering. But it's also not the pinnacle. This is, again, just another moment in time. And next year, it's something else. And next month, who knows? So I think what we have to do as artists and people within the space is objectively dissect it, look at all the good and all the bad that has or will or is going to come out of it, and see how we can, in some way sway or at least position ourselves in a way that is going to be better for us and ideally the community.
There is an opportunity here. There's a ton of money sloshing around. Yes, we know that. And we're also entrepreneurs. So we're like, well, if you're dumb enough to spend too much money on stuff, we'll take your money and then we're going to do something with it. And I feel like you're quite passionate about taking outside funds and then diverting them back into something useful.
I'm old and I'm a cynic. And
you're Scottish.
Canadian, I'm quite, diplomatic, but I've been in Scotland for 20 years, so I'm just a bit of an asshole at times. But yeah, being a cynic. And I see the fact that, the amount of greed, and I'm not going to lie, like I said, I'm trying to make a living as well. And I'm doing very well for myself. And I want that to continue. But I also want to try to influence the space in such a way, lead by example, and to maybe try to form more of a culture of giving back, more of philanthropy. And I think that you look through history, the greatest times for art was when there was the most money being put into it, whether it was the Medici, or the 80s and 90s. And I mean, there's a huge amount of vacuous art being produced, but there's also amazing art being produced as well. So yeah, so next year's, I've been working on a 2021 project. It's a 12-month, 12 artist collaboration. I'm not going to say the names of the artists yet. I'll be releasing that fairly soon, but some of the biggest artists in the space right now. And I won't go into all the details, but essentially what we're going to be having one drop with each artist. There'll be 4 artists in April, 4 in August, and 4 in November, all dropping on Nifty Gateway. And right off the top, I've spoke to Nifty Gateway already about this, that 10% of everything that's sold will go towards a fund, which will then be available as grants to other artists who are wanting to take part, to develop their own style, and it's about collaboration. So they'll be working with another artist, at least one more. And so we'll be awarding grants to hopefully, as many artists as we can, to create a culture of collaboration, of innovation, of long-term thinking, of creativity, of community, of diversity. And again, it's about leading by example. So ideally, then those artists will be lifted up. More people will see who they are. They'll have more interest in their work, and then they'll be able to continue to give back to the community in however way they can as well. So that's basically the idea of it.
And I love that you're doing this. I think it's fascinating.
Am I allowed to say that you're going to be in on this, helping us with this as well?
Spoiler! Spoiler! I was gonna yes, yes. Trevor's ruined it. I was going to announce it on Twitter because everyone's like really excited for everything I drop on Twitter. Yes, no, I'm also part of this initiative, and very grateful to have been invited.
Yeah, Trevor outed me. God damn it! Following the rug pull, my next crypto art project will be lining up alongside the best-known crypto artists right now. That's exciting. But enough about me. As we were recording that interview, Trevor was just preparing his latest drop, which is a collaboration with Pak, another hero of 2020. And the collection entitled Collision is happening in stages. The first of those literally happened last night, and it topped out at $890,500, just shy of $1 million. And I have to say, credit is due here to Nifty Gateway, who, to my mind, have become the must-watch NFT platform in recent months. And we're seeing not just an improvement in the quality of the art itself, but the auction mechanics on display are also maturing rapidly. And putting aside journalistic objectivity for a moment, me, this guy, I mean, I really like these pieces a lot. And while I'm pretty immune to being wowed by 3D animation or CGI simulations these days, I have to say, I really do like them a lot. I think they're arresting and challenging and striking and beautiful. So kudos to Nifty Gateway, kudos to the Koch Foster twins, and hey, did you never think it was weird that Nifty, which is run by identical twins, was acquired by Gemini, which is the sign of the twins, which is owned by the Winklevosses, the clear winner in the annual Most Thanos-like Chins twins who were in that movie about Facebook competition. Weird stuff. Anyway, it's a very exciting time for digital art. As always, yes, most of it is garbage, and you will probably end up buying a turkey if you jump in at any point. But if you do your homework, there are artists on the fringes of this space who are about to be superstars, and they will eclipse anything that Beeple has done and that Trevor has done. And do you know what? Right now, they are only a DM away. So go, create, collect, be defiant, and there we shall end. Happy Christmas, you